posts. You don't get a lot of new interaction with other people that you haven't talked to or whatever. So Wyatt's in the room, just so you know. So anyway, what we're going to do is from starting tomorrow and ending on Thursday night, and I don't know, we'll probably put a time on Thursday, but we are going to push and add as many friends as we can to our social media page, whatever it is. I'm guessing most of you are Facebook, so that's probably what we'll focus on. So it has to be 100 plus, okay? That's what we're shooting for. I know 100 seems like crazy, but we're going to push for it. It's 4 days, so just kind of spread it out. You don't want to do it all in one day, or Facebook will put you in jail and say, stop adding so many people. So I think maybe on Tuesday, I am going to announce whoever does get the most added to their network, you're going to get a prize. Okay, I haven't figured out that prize yet, but I will announce that Tuesday, and so hopefully that will push you even more a little bit. Am I forgetting anything else, Caitlin?
What I would like is we're gonna post this like an event. So we're gonna be like, add to your network 100 friends in 4 days, and then within that event, I want us all to comment where we currently stand with our friends. Okay, with our friends list. So you just go to your friends list. It'll tell you, I think I have like 4,867 friends or something like that. And then you comment with your number. I started at 500 when I started this in May of 2015. I literally would just sit in the car and add, go to friends of friends, add. It's literally clicking buttons. So if this part scares you, then I want you to reach out to somebody that you feel comfortable with on this team. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't. I know that Olga was one of my personally sponsored coaches. I know she goes to Vanessa Hager for probably 85, 90% of her stuff at this point because they found each other and they are their people. I know Jenny and Nicole, which Nicole's not on this because she just got done moving. But I know that they're going to each other and finding that. And Shandy has another success partner. So find your person. If that's not your upline coach, if that's somebody else in a different organization or something like that, that is okay. Okay, so we've got a big goal for you, 100 plus people, 4 days, 25 people a day. It's not that bad. It's not that scary. If you have existing friend requests out there, my advice, go delete them and resend it. So if you have one pending out to somebody, they might have forgotten about it. Cancel that request, send it back out. They might go ahead and accept it that day. So, Shandy, do you want to set up that event?
Yeah, I'll set that up. And just a reminder, don't always just click a friend because a lot of it's other social media marketing. It works, all that. So you really kind of want to read their description a little bit at least because you don't want a whole bunch of friends that are in It Works and Rolling Fields and all that crap. So, okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's a business challenge. You got to grow your network to have more eyes on your Facebook page. And if you're not posting, then that's not real. Those new friends aren't going to know what you're about. So to talk about posting, quality of posting, adding value to what we do as coaches, I'm going to kick it on over to Vanessa. And great idea, Shandy. Thank you so much.
Hello. Just one thing real quick on friends. I always look and see if other coaches are friends with them. So if they're already friends with Kate and Shandy and all those people, I don't send them a friend request because I just figure that's already, they're already seeing us somewhere. So I move away from those people. But not that you can't ever send a friend request to somebody that is already friends with a coach, but I just personally don't do that because I don't know who they're already talking to. Sometimes that gets kind of crazy. So just throwing that out there on friends. Don't know what everybody else does, but that's what I do. So posting. I want to just talk about posting. So we say you should post 3 to 5 times a day, right, on your social media. You need to sprinkle in there your life. So don't just make it Beachbody. Like, don't only talk about Beachbody all day, every day, because that is going to lower your engagement. Like, I throw a picture of one of my kids in there. I talk a lot about baseball. People want to know what your life is like, right? Like, not just, well, all she does is work out and drink a shake. Like, that's not interesting. They want to know what your life looks like so they can see themselves doing that life. Kate is making a post right now. I can see her taking a picture of all of us. Everybody smile pretty. So make your post about your life. Add your life in there so that people can connect with you, so they know that person's like me. That person speaks to me, right? You're going to want to post about your shake. You're going to want to post about your workouts. You're going to want to post about what you eat. You're going to want to post about our products, right? Because you have to talk about it to sell it, right? But number one thing for me, people used to always say when, oh shoot, now the words just left my mind. What do they say, Kate? What do they say? They say adding value. There we go. So adding value to your posts, right? So you're going to post to add value. And I was like, well, what does that mean? If you know me, you know that I'm very literal. Like, I need you to tell me exactly what you mean so that I can do it right, so that I can make you proud, so that, like, that's just kind of how I am. I'm like that kind of a person. So I needed to know exactly what that meant. So I'm adding value. So how does Shakeco add value to my life? Like, that's what I thought it meant. Like, okay, so all of these things that Shakeco does for me, I'm going to talk about the vitamins, and I'm going to talk about the probiotics, and I'm going to talk about how it helped my daughter when I was nursing her. All those things are great. Talk about those things. That's important. I'm going to talk about my workout. I'm going to talk about how it's helping me. I'm going to talk about what my goals are for that program and what that program's like, so that people can see that there are different programs that are available for all fitness levels. Those are all important things. You need to be talking about those. For me, I post my workout every day, and I post my video every day. Like, I have not skipped a day in months. I have not skipped a workout in months. For me, I am a very routine, regimented person. So if I skip one day, I'm going to skip 2. I'm going to skip 3. That's just the way I am. So I show up every day. I show up every day on my workout. I do my video for me, number one, because it holds me accountable. Because I know if I don't post a video, then I didn't work out. And then I didn't do what I said I was going to do for my personal goals. But posting those workout videos every day, I have a lot of my challengers that have said to me, I would notice if you didn't post that workout. I would notice if you didn't do that. Video apps. So what I use is I use Video Shop. I record my videos like in 1 to 2 minute segments. So like each move, you know, however long your move is, it's like 1 to 2, maybe 3 minutes, depending on what workout you're doing. So my phone is really close. It is, now I'm working out in my basement. It's literally set up against a Ninja Turtle that's on my kid's toy bench. I lean my phone up there. I used to say I couldn't do it because, yeah, shaker cups. Kate uses her shaker cup. I used to say I couldn't do it because I didn't have a tripod, and I didn't have a clicker, and I didn't have all those things. But I posted it out there, set it up there. I take my video, 1 to 2 minutes. I put them into Video Shop, and I put it together, like clip it down into 10, 15 seconds. You can speed it up. You can shorten it. You can do all those things. It's like $2.99, I think that app is. And then I put it in Pick, Play, Post. So that's my video apps that I use. Pick, Play, Post will let you put the picture and the video together. Okay? So those are all things that you need to post about. That's what I thought posting with purpose meant, right? Adding value to people's life. And then I actually found my purpose. Like, I had this big aha moment back in December, like this huge, like mind-blowing aha moment. I always kind of felt like Beachbody was put into my life and like I was supposed to be doing this, like I was pulled to do it. Every time I would kind of think, is this right? Am I doing the right thing? Something would fall into my lap. And it was just like this thing that wouldn't go away. So I felt like it was right. But in December, I really just my heart exploded, my mind exploded. I was like, I have to do this. This is my purpose. This is my drive. This is my passion. People need to see this. My life is completely changed because of this opportunity. I say it all the time. I started to lose 20 pounds. I lost the 20 pounds, but I gained so much more. That is what I believe adding value is sharing that passion, sharing that purpose, finding what this business and what this opportunity, what this lifestyle has done for you and talking about that. That is what will make your business grow. That is what will make you find your people. Because if I'm just copying posts that other people do, then I'm selling Kate's post or I'm selling Shandy's post. And I'm not Kate and I'm not Shandy. So people are seeing those people. They're not seeing me. They need to know me because I am going to be their coach. And as their coach, it is my job to connect with them, and it is my job to help them, and it is my job to help them find their purpose and their passion. And if I'm not speaking to my purpose and my passion, I can't help them do that. So not every post has to be like this big, profound, moment, right? But you need to do those like every couple of days, every 3 days, at least twice a week. You need to have some kind of post that speaks to your life and really lets them get to know you. Because if they don't know you, then you're just this girl that works out all the time. You're just this girl that drinks a shake. But I think we can all speak to people on this call that we have gotten to know through their post and through their life, and or through them sharing their life on their post, and you're like, oh. Now I say you can't copy post. I copy post like I do, but I found those coaches that I connect with, right? Like those people. Hi, we have a photo bomber there, Shandy. So I copy post from other coaches that I really connect with. We've talked about it before, but those posts that you say me too. So whenever I read someone, like another coach's post, I found coaches that are like me, coaches that spend all their time with their kids, coaches that are busy, that their lives and their purpose and their passion revolves around their children and this business. Those coaches speak to me because that is my passion. My passion is to be here with my kids and my family. This business has given me the opportunity to do that, but has also given me time for me to make me mentally, physically, emotionally more available to my kids. That is my passion and my purpose. I have sought out coaches that are like that. I see their post, and whenever I read it, I'm like, oh, I felt just like that. Oh, I feel just like that now. Oh, that was my life. So I copy those posts and I add them to my notes section, and then I will share that post. Now, not word for word. I edit it. I add my story into it a little bit. But it is perfectly fine to use other coaches' posts as what's the word I'm looking for? Like inspiration for your own post. But if it's just a post like, wow, that's a really good post. Look at all those comments she got. I'm going to do that post. But it didn't really speak to you and you don't feel like me too, that's me, then don't do it. Because then again, you're being Kate or you're being Shandy or you're being Vanessa or you're not being genuine to you. When people do this as a coach, whenever people sign on with you, they're not signing on for Shakeology. They're not signing on for the workouts. Yes, they want those things, but they are signing on with you. They are signing on with you. And I think that's really important, that we need to be genuine and authentic in ourselves so that people know who they're signing up with and so that they can really get that value from us. And we can then get to know them, and that helps us grow. Because whenever I really connect with my challengers and I see them growing and I see their lives changing and I'm watching those same changes that happened in me happen in them, gosh, that just makes me like it fires me up. It just makes my heart explode. That is what happened to me in December. That is where my life changed. That is where I knew with all of my being, this is what I was born to do. This business is what I was born to do. This thing right here needs to be shared with the world, because there are other people out there that are just like me, that are lost, that are hopeless, that don't know what to do. Like, they just have this feeling that they were here to do something, but they haven't found it. And they just had all these damn kids, and now what are you supposed to do? There are people just like that. They need this. So those are the people I'm finding. And then I'm finding other people along the way that don't have any kids. They just have dogs, and, you know, they love their dogs, but they love me too. So they're connecting with me. So maybe someday I'll talk them into having children. I don't know, but that's okay if they don't. But yeah, so that is what posting with purpose means, and adding value means to me. And I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope you got something from that. Just find your purpose. And if you need help finding your purpose, Olga's going to talk about that some, how you do that, how you find your purpose. But talk with us. Talk with us, like Kate has shared before. Share your why with your coach. Share your true, genuine why, and dig deeper than I need money. Like, if that is your only why, I'm sorry, but it's not going to work for you, because you don't have a passion and a purpose. Like, you've got to get deeper than that. And I know that everybody on this call has something deeper than that, because we all signed up for a reason. We all signed up because we needed a change in our life, whatever that was. So dig into that, find that, talk to us, let us help you.
And I think, just to build on that just a little bit, when I would tell Vanessa, post to add value, I could literally see like the eyes glaze over, and then like the little people in the back of her head being like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Like, when she was able to throw those little people out of her mouth and be like, I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Like, the sooner you can do that, we can find the right words for you. Because sometimes our original delivery and the original instruction that you hear, it might not make sense to you. You might need to hear it a different way. And I mean, I teach a forehand one way, but I have 1,000 different ways to say the same thing to kids, because not every kid is the same. And even though we're all grown-ups, we are so different. We are so different. We learn different. We absorb different. We accept things differently. And we get turned off by things differently. And so if something is said that kind of like puts you off and turns you off from taking action, that's what we want to address. And we're only going to, my business does not grow if your business does not grow. It is in my best interest, Shandy's best interest, Vanessa's best interest, everybody on this call, it is in our best interest for everyone to know what the hell we're talking about and why it's so important. I went from being a diamond coach last Thursday, or 2 Thursdays ago, to a 2-star diamond coach. You know what? I hit 0 Success Club for the first time in two years last month. And that was because of so many things going through my head. But even though I didn't take action, because of what I have built underneath me in those 2 years, I'm qualifying for a very large bonus. And that kind of picked me up and said, hey, this isn't just about you, Kate. This is about everybody else that is on this journey for their own reasons, and they need you. They need me to put these calls together, to reach out to them, to talk about wedding dresses, to connect. This is important stuff. So why you are in this business and sharing your passion and learning how to share that passion, it's really important. But it isn't all about social media. it isn't all about Beachbody. It is about your personal journey. And about a year ago, one of Olga, I'll just say it, not one of, Olga, hit a pretty big freaking roadblock in her personal journey. Her mom got diagnosed with cancer and things went bad fast. And she was at the beginning of her coaching journey. She started coaching in February, hit Success Club 10 in February, Success Club 10 in March, Success Club 10 in April, Success Club again in May, I believe, and earned her free ticket to Summit doing that. And then she found out that this happened. And I want her to talk to you about how she used personal development, not to grow her business, but to grow her as a person. And that is truly where she is growing her business now. But it wasn't that kind of dollar for page turn, you know? Like, she had to invest in herself before it turned into something. So I'm going to shut up and she can take over.
Hello. First of all, I don't know if you noticed that earlier I was choking on my own medicine. So if you saw me coughing, that's what was happening. Damn thyroid pill. Okay, so I don't know if I have good lighting because my lights are going dead, but I'm Olga. First off, I want to recognize somebody that's on this call. She's been on my calls before. Her name is Joy. She's one of my new coaches, and she hit Emerald this week. So that's very exciting. And I am your newest diamond. But I wanted to say that. I wanted to recognize Joy because while it felt really good, and that's not where I was going, of course, but while it felt really good to get, all the recognition for Diamond, I knew that that wasn't something that I did because I didn't turn Diamond. I was made Diamond because of those efforts from somebody else. And it wasn't until I was talking to Vanessa, because I felt like the person that usually has always put herself down. I don't have all that stuff, right? I'm not worthy of this. And it wasn't until I was talking to my success partner that I'm like, you know what? I will take the credit. I will take the credit for being Diamond, because if I didn't do my job, my coach will not turn Emerald. She will not want to follow in footsteps. So while you may not have an Emerald right now or a person going for rank or whatnot, you're laying that foundation. And that's why we're on this call, right? That's why we're on this roadmap to success, so that then you can then start inspiring other people to want to do it, because we're not just inspiring challengers, we're inspiring other people to want to just do something. I thought I would never get there. Like Kate says, I started off not knowing that I wanted to coach, and I have been on these calls before. So most of you know most of those parts of my story that I shared. And if you follow my posts, you've seen that I share a lot, but I don't know any different. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I don't identify with, like, for example, Kate has said sometimes, there's times that I don't know what to post. I'm like, dude, I don't ever hit that. But that's because I'm sharing everything and I'm posting everything. And if there was a butterfly, there's a turtle in my dog's mouth the other day. That made it on Snapchat. Yes. But that was my life. And it's freaking turtle. And there was another turtle the next day. So, it's just, but there was a time that I didn't feel like anything was worth sharing. My life was ridiculously annoying. I would go out with some friends after I had postponed it for 15,000 times because my anxiety was keeping me from going. I'm trembling. I don't know why. I'm nervous. I didn't feel like I had anything worth sharing. I would get to these get-togethers with a friend, and I would get in the car after having complained for so long. It felt like that get-together, like that dinner or that night with drinks or that catching up session turned more into me whining, about life, because everything was just too much, or I was complaining. And I felt like that Debbie Downer of the person in that conversation. So I would get in my car, and I typically would just grab my phone right away, still in the parking lot, and I would text my friend, whomever I was with, and say something like, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 who would want to hang out with me? I hope that I didn't, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I would always do that because in part I wanted to make sure that the other person would send me back that, oh no, it's okay. It was fine. We all have those moments. But I needed that because I felt like a complete and utter mess and nobody wanted to, like, I'm really cold. I'm sorry. I think I'm getting sick. So, I mean, I felt like that person. So when my coach Kate says, you should be a coach, I'm like, nobody wants to hear me. Please trust me. You know, nobody wants to know what I'm going through. Nobody wants to hear this because what's going on in here, it's a cluster. And I'm not going to say the rest of it because there's 2 kids in the video over here. But it was a cluster. So I was, and I am, by definition, most likely the least likely person to have become a coach. But at the same time, I feel like I've experienced a complete, is it 180 or 360 or I don't know, a complete turnaround in my life. I mean, because it's not even about fitness at this point anymore. I mean, yes, I'm kind of like to the point where I'm blowing my own mind every now and then. I've done now 7, hold on. I've done 6 pull-ups and 7 chin-ups. I'm keeping track, okay? Because Tony Horton says to write it down. So when it comes to that, yes, I'm still very much growing on my fitness journey, but my personal development really took off. Forever, I have been a person that literally wants to learn more about how my mind operates and how my brain works and how my heart feels and all that stuff. And so even before coaching, I would do like conferences like that, you know? I would, I'm sorry, I have to read. Yes, definitely. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. I would go to personal development classes and courses and whatnot. And so we had a restaurant and I've always been in some sort of position of leadership. So because of work and because of leadership, I would pursue these conferences, right? And it turns out that they're usually just personal development. They're just geared towards business, but all leadership begins with a better leader. So it's always a personal thing. So I'm very drawn to that. When they said with coaching you had to do personal development, I'm like, okay, that means reading. I don't really do books, but I'll try this thing that she's telling me and I will order You Are a Badass. Like everybody was reading in our group. We were 5 or 6 of them, you know? And I start reading it. And the problem with me and reading is that I would have to go back every time I put the book down, like to the last 2 pages to figure out where I was. And so that was just wasting my time. And then they said, well, you know, you can find it in Audible. And I think that's where it took off for me because I didn't know how much I needed that book. Oops. I didn't know how much I needed that book really. I don't know what that is. Okay, somebody's growling. I am losing track of what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Look. All right.
You're talking about using personal development for personal growth.
Yes. So, okay. So I came into coaching just really not sure of what exactly I was going to be doing as a coach. And I think that that's a common thing for anybody. You have no idea what you're expected to do. You see other people sharing their journey, but at some point you realize, you know, well, maybe some of it is real. Maybe some of it is, like we've said, you know, we talk about copy and pasting or, you know, following other people for inspiration. But no, it really becomes, it has to become your journey. At some point, you have to stop wanting to copy somebody else's post and make it about you. I didn't think I had anything interesting to share. My coach told me, go do something interesting. I don't know what that is. I didn't know what that was. I was a very sad mom and wife that really didn't do anything for herself. And so when we started talking about coaching and personal development, I started realizing just how much I needed to improve. And when I realized that with just a little bit more effort, my life was going to keep changing, I just dove in. I mean, I don't know how many hours I spent on listening to Audible. I read We Are Badass on audio because I could do it more than book while I was doing payroll for the restaurant. While I was driving in the car, I stopped listening to music. I'm not telling you have to stop doing anything. It's just like with coaching. If you if you find that it's something that, brings you passion or makes you feel like that, you're going to want to pursue that, right? So for me, I kept, like, with every page or chapter, I guess, if you listen to it, with every chapter, I was just drawn in. And the lights, like the light bulbs in my own mind were just clicking, like, oh, that's what's going to help me get here. So I had grief. I had issues of growing up with a broken family. I had issues with my mom and me arguing. I had issues with my dad not being present. I had issues with an ex-husband. I had issues with me and boyfriends. And I have a history of not being very loyal. and I had to, like, really dig deep into why some of these things in my life were keeping me from being my best self. And those are things that had nothing to do with losing weight. And they had nothing to do with working out, but they had everything to do with why I didn't feel good about myself. And if I didn't feel good about myself, you better believe that my posts weren't going to show that. As I continued on this journey of really just self-discovery, because that's the only way I can put it, doors started opening in my head. Like, just, I don't know exactly what's the one thing that I can tell you, poof, but it was like this, I can't stop feeding myself that time that I need to just invest in myself. And not everybody wants to put that effort, because it's not the most comfortable when you look at it. It really isn't. If you're doing the right things, and I say quote unquote, because maybe not everybody needs it, but I'm pretty sure that most of all need some sort of personal development. If it's either personal or, again, self-love, or you have issues with your marriage, or you don't really like where you're working, or the people that you work with, or you have a negative voice that's always feeding and, talking to you and not letting you succeed, you kind of have to look at why that is. And unfortunately, we're kind of taught to get over things. You don't just get over things that you don't understand why they're happening in the first place, or what the effect is that those things are playing on you. I'm starting to understand more and more. I just went to a therapist recently, and she's like, you're a very smart person. You kind of like have these things figured out. I don't really know why you're paying me to be here. I'm like, well, I like to hear that I'm doing the right things, I guess, But I've gone through so many things now in this past year and a half that I understand the key role that personal development has had in my life. So yes, when Kate said that I had a really hard time last year, it was literally on this day today that we went to the hospital for the first time, because my mom was just not feeling well, and it wasn't getting well, and we weren't probably going to be able to wait until her colonoscopy, which was scheduled. We ended up at the hospital, and they sent us back home, and it's like, okay, you're going to be back, or you're going to be fine, So that's what I thought. She's going to be fine. I wanted to see it. Look at his face. Anyways, so, at that time, I remember that I had my book with me in the hospital. And I remember kind of like maybe listening to it. I think we might have had a team call that was, I don't know. Long story short, there were times that were ahead that I didn't even know I was preparing for. I do believe that things happen for a reason. That's something that it's very, very clear for me. I was put in this path, just like Vanessa was saying, this was put in my life for a reason. So coaching, I think, found me because I needed to grow as a person, in order to handle the things that were coming. And so it's not only my mom having been diagnosed, but like right now at this point, I'm having issues with my dad. And I don't know if you follow some of those posts or not, but like we're in this place where after 3 years of living together, it's kind of not working, And I've had to have really hard conversations with him. Conversations that a year ago were turning into flat out arguments and rages and me just not knowing how to say things. But I'm in a better place in all these different kinds of places in my life. And I'm sorry that I might be rambling, but personal development really has to be at the corner, at center stone of this entire journey. There are things in your life that are just holding you back right now from being able to help somebody else, period. That's just it. That's the bottom line. You're going to be encountered with certain things that some people might, we've all kind of like had a challenger, or maybe at least the ones that have already kind of like helped a couple of them, that you're like, whoa, I sent you one question and you sent me back 3 paragraphs about your life. How are you going to be able to help that person out if you at least aren't exploring certain parts of your life that aren't dealt with, or like, you know what I mean? Like that you aren't able to like pinpoint how to help yourself. Because when you can't help yourself, you're not going to put the effort to help somebody else. So I think that's what I wanted to be able to share. I wouldn't have been in a position to continue on this coaching journey had it not been for the fact that I decided really early on to truly invest in finding out how to knock down those walls that were keeping me from being my best version of myself. And that was literally done through reading some of those books that are being put in here. You Are Badass was the first one. I still have not finished I Am That Girl. I read The Happiness Project and Better Than Before, and another book by Gretchen Rubin. And then I dove into podcasts because they were easy. I didn't have to like buy the books. It was just like, well, that's a mom podcast. And they talked about all kinds of things, because I'm a mom that struggles with her self-worth. And then there was another one that talked about marriages, and another one about leadership. And so kind of like wherever I'm at, I find what it is that I need to kind of like fill my cup with that day. And then you go with it, because just like everything in life, you're not always going to follow a script. So yeah, I may not have finished this book, but I've actually filled my entire year with a lot of development. And so you got to stay hungry for it. You can never believe that you're done, because you're not. Just like with your fitness journey, you're not going to just stop working out because I'm good for the next 5 years, right? Like it's not going to happen. But you really got to push yourself for it. And I believe that at the end of the day, that's one of those key components that truly makes you stronger in the end. I wouldn't be standing here right now, the person I am, without it. And that's, I don't know how to explain it, but that's just the truth. It's just, that's the truth.
So what I have seen, and I've seen this in a lot of them. I've seen it in everybody that's been here for 6 months or longer and that posts about their personal development that they do. I have seen growth in their personal life. I am not going to relate this to business at all, because I don't think you can have a business without this vital behavior. So business off the table right now. Olga, when I first started talking to her, she was a complainer. She complained about everybody in her life. She complained about her kids. She complained about her husband. She complained about her family. And I listened.
Complain about me.
Yeah, she complained about herself. And I listened to it. And when she asked me to be a coach. I recruited her as a flat out challenger. And she asked me to be a coach. And I said no. I said no to her to be a coach, because she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready at all. And she got through about 30 days of her first program, and she's a reader. She reads the fine print, and she's like, I want that discount, and I want to coach, and I know that I can get reimbursed for my $40 coaching fee if I sign up by this date. And so we got her signed up by that date. But it was a requirement that personal development was part of her life. And in the last year and a few months, she spends more time with her kids. She lets herself off the hook for being busy. She does her best to stick to a more functional schedule that works for her. She does her absolute best to fit in workouts. And again, she doesn't make excuses when she bails on it. She's honest with her followers about it. She's honest with herself about it. Some days you just don't freaking want to. And instead of private messaging me and telling me how big of a failure she is about it, I get to read it in her post. Not that she's a failure, but that she valued her time on the couch with her husband, or she valued her time in the kitchen with her family more than a workout. And you will never ever hear me say that's horseshit. Like, I'm never going to say that. Like I think that's wonderful. I am so proud of her for knowing that it's okay to sacrifice 30 minutes with Tony Horton to make pancakes, or to lay on the couch with Sean and watch a stupid movie, like, or to organize her life, because I know that that's going to make her just a happier person in the morning. And so I encourage you to find a book or find a podcast that is speaking to you in whatever you're facing. I wrote down in my notes, I wrote down 2 things that Olga said that I really, really love. And of course, here we go. The first one is, this won't be comfortable if you're doing it right. And she's absolutely right. In January, I was very uncomfortable when I moved into my apartment by myself. First time in 30 years I'd ever lived on my own. And I was pretty ashamed. I was pretty ashamed that I had gone on this big journey and I had posted all this stuff about me and my husband and creating this amazing life. And then here I am at 30 years old living in this apartment all by myself. And for some reason, Shandy, it wasn't for some reason, it was Shandy. Shandy messaged me and said, I'm doing terrible at personal development. And I was like, me too. And she's like, okay, well, we're getting personal development books within the next 48 hours and we're starting it. And I was literally like 5 minutes away from our 48-hour mark. And she's messaging me saying, I've got my book. Where's your book? And I was driving my ass to Barnes & Noble. I got there 10 minutes before they shut down. And I go to the personal development section, and there is this book on shame. And I didn't know what I was supposed to pick up when I went there. And I went and I grabbed it. And that really, it helped me a ton. And I read that book, and then I did a lot of other stuff in February and March. And in April, I just focused in on business. And I didn't do any more personal development because my Success Club numbers were going through the roof. And I was feeling confident, and I got this, and I got this, and I got this. And I got home in May from Punta Cana, and I started dealing with the divorce. And you know what's a really hard habit to get into? A good habit. Bad habits are really easy to continue with. Good habits are not easy to pick back up. It's like you're starting over from scratch. And so this is the other thing that Olga said. Stay hungry for it. You are never done, just like you are never done with your workouts. My workouts really haven't stopped except for when I was sick. My personal development completely quit because I thought I had it figured out. You will get to a point in your journey where you skip a day of personal development. And I want to just throw this in your face and say, it's worse than skipping a workout. It's worse than missing your shake. It's worse than saying your prayers at night. Because I guarantee you that somebody's praying for you every single night. You've got people around you that love you, that they're going to say their prayers for you, but no one is going to put in the work for you up here. No one can. If they could, I'd be like the strongest mental person out there. I've got so many people wanting good things for me, but nobody can. So I would really like to challenge everyone to share what they're doing personal development wise on your social media, in the team page, with your success partner, and don't keep it to yourself.
That was one of the things that that was really important when I started when it was Shandy and myself and maybe 3 more people in the call. Like, I mean, that was part of the calls. Where are you at on your personal development? It was almost like check, 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 check. I mean, that's how the call started. But it wasn't so much because, I mean, it was because we needed to do it, but it was also because, well, we were such a small group of people that it was very easy to say, okay, well, nobody's watching, so I maybe can probably get away with not doing it. But Kit was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So for me, it felt like, shit, you have to really do this. Okay, fine. Oh, Another thing that I wanted to mention really quickly, because of the fact that things will come up. I mean, every single person on this video right now is or is going to have or will have or has already had really hard stuff, because I'm certainly not the only person. Raina here, Kate, I don't know why I read the name, is not the only person. So I did something that was really scary 3 weeks ago, was it, Kate? 2 weeks ago, I don't know. Somebody posted on the Lux Republic saying something like, I'm moving and it's going to be hard and I just don't know how I'm going to be able to like continue coaching. I don't know how I'm going to be able to show up. And the words that she used, I was just like, I started writing a comment. I'm like, no, because people need to hear that when it gets hard, you don't just stop. If this is what you want to be doing. So then I said, I just went live in the Lux Republic, which is really scary because there's 2,300 people and not everybody watched, but I was like freaking out. But my message was like, the reason why I stayed on my social media posting about coaching, which really for me it wasn't, I have stayed on. I do the least amount of coaching opportunity posts probably than anybody in this group, probably because I'm afraid I'm not going to be as good at it. But also because what I do is I just share my journey. And so when I was at the hospital with my mom, I was still drinking my shake and I was still doing my workouts. And so why would I consider that I was going to stop coaching when it got hard? Because I was still drinking my shake and I was still doing my workouts. And so I just found the way to integrate that into my message, I guess, because the last thing I wanted to do was seem insensitive, or, I was very challenged. I wasn't sure if I should be posting. 3 days after, I wasn't sure if I should be showing up with a workout post. I was worried, but then I reminded myself that I was still working out. I was still drinking my shake. I was still a coach. So just make it fit your hard time and make it find what it does for you, because at the end of the day, you're doing it for a reason, for you. So how does it help you? And then that becomes the message also. If without it, I probably wouldn't have gone through what I went through. So that was part of my message at that time. Today, it's part of my message yet again, because it's yet again another hard time. It's remembering, it's kind of closing, it's kind of closure for me. I need to watch those posts. I need to watch those memories on this day, whatever. But I would be doing it anyways. I would be drinking my shake. I would be doing my workouts. So yeah, that was that.
So we've had, a 50-minute call. We've had people talk about their passions. We've had people offer up challenges. We've had people, share about what they've been through in the last year, 2 years on this journey. Some of it will apply to you. Some of it won't. Some of it, some goals we have are similar. Some goals we have that aren't. I'm going to ask you to take bits and pieces that you found useful and take those with you into your week. And I'm going to ask that you leave things that didn't add value into your life and that you didn't connect with. I'm going to ask that you leave them here on this call. Don't take anything with you that doesn't benefit you. Don't take anything with you that doesn't build you up and make you feel good about yourself. I do think you need to take stuff with you that makes you, kind of challenge your comfort zone a little bit, because that's where we find growth. But if there's anything that was said or was insinuated on this call that didn't set well with you, just leave it here. Like when you log out of this Zoom call, just leave it there and don't go to bed with it. Because I think that's what we do with social media a lot. We scroll through and we see other people's lives and we harbor that jealousy, or we harbor that, whatever it is that doesn't set very well with it. And we hold on to that instead of holding on to the good. So I want you to actively grab onto the good that you found in this call, and also actively throw back the stuff that didn't sit so well with you, because that's not our intention. Our intention is to build you up and inspire you and to show you that there are different ways to grow this business and different ways to help people start their health and fitness journey. So the roadmap that we showed is our roadmap that has helped us. And you can take different pieces from our roadmaps and apply it to you and make your own. And so then in a few months or a few weeks, or when you say, hey, Kate, I want to share about how this personal development has really been, impacting my life, or I want to share how this posting schedule really works for me, then people can take what you bring and take the good from what you bring and leave the not so great from what you bring. Does that make sense? Cool. I will post this recording. I will post my notes. I'll make it so everybody can edit the notes, I believe. So if you thought that I missed some stuff in what you presented or what somebody else presented, add away. Shandy this week or tomorrow or tonight, whenever she has time, she's going to create the event for the adding the friends. And then I am going to post my personal development starting tomorrow for 7 straight days. I would love it if you would comment below each day on what you did for yourself. Post a link to a video, post a picture of a page that really spoke to you. But let's put personal development at the forefront of our team page this week, and really zero in on growing ourselves first and foremost, so we can help people. Sound good? Okay. Get to bed. Have strong weeks, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.